Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to share 9 ways or steps in getting your hair to grow really long and thick, but fast. And that is the key right there, speed. I really think these 9 tips will help the process go faster. We're all super impatient, but I've seen amazing results with these 9 things. They're a little bit different than what some people talk about, but I have a lot of experience with being able to have long hair. I'll go ahead and insert some footage of what my hair looked like at the beginning of this year. It was very long. I ended up chopping it, and then I have since cut my hair numerous times throughout the year, and then here we are now. Obviously, I don't have the longest hair ever, but it's still pretty long for having cut it multiple times throughout the year. I also know these 9 things work because I do have gray hair up here, and when I do these things on a daily to weekly basis, I start having to dye my hair more often because my hair is growing so fast. Now, if you don't want long hair, that's totally fine. This also works for thickness and regrowth. So if you are somebody that just wants thicker, healthier hair, you'll actually start to see hair regrowing that wasn't there before. So let's just get started with the very first step that kind of inspired this whole video. And that is Vegamore's hair serum. I am so obsessed with Vegamore. I can't even tell you. I love them so much, and I know why. It's because I actually see results. And it's just so easy to recommend something when you visibly see results. So I have teamed up with Vegamore for this video, and I just wanted to do this video because so many of you have expressed interest in this subject. I've actually started to receive kind of a lot of messages and emails from people saying that they have purchased a few products and they are starting to see results as well. So the first thing that kind of got me down this path, and obviously this video isn't about lashes, but it is their lash serum. Like, this is what made me kind of convinced that their products worked. So I'm gonna go ahead and just insert a picture of what my lashes looked like before I started this. I was kind of skeptical, so I took a before picture, and then around 3 weeks, I started noticing a big difference, and then I snapped another photo at 6 weeks, and as you can clearly see, my lashes are way longer. And I have tried other lash serums in the past, but they started to give me really weird side effects, and a lot of you have mentioned that as well. I have no weird side effects with their products, and it's because they're vegan, cruelty-free, completely healthy and natural. Just because something's natural doesn't necessarily mean it's healthy, but their ingredients are so good for you, but you actually see results. So anyway, that is what kind of got me down the path, and I started being really dedicated with their hair serum. Now, I do have the advanced formula. I do have a code also, just in case you want to try anything out. I'll have a code and a link down below. It's just Shay. You can use that and save 20% on their entire website. So when you check out their website, which I really encourage you guys to do, you can see the before and after photos of real people, and you can also read the reviews. And I really think that might open your eyes as to what this product can do for your hair and your scalp. There's a regular formula and an advanced formula. The advanced is just what I've always used, and it is hemp infused or CBD infused. So if that's something you're interested in, I do think it makes a difference, but obviously a lot of people have seen great results with just the regular formula. There's mung bean, red clover, nicotiana benthamiana. There's an extract from turmeric that's in here, and it all works together to increase the density of your hair, meaning regrowth is going to happen. It's going to make your hair thicker. It's going to make your hair healthier. It's going to stop the shedding of your hair, which means it's going to actually increase the anagen phase of your growth cycle, like the hair growth cycle. You want to increase that cycle so that your hair grows for a longer period of time at a faster rate. Put it through your scalp wherever you really want to see results. So I usually do it on the top of my head and then along the sides here, and that's where I've seen the biggest difference. When I pull back my hair, I no longer have to fill in patches with eyeshadow. Now, I want to be super honest with you and very transparent. This is only going to work if you dedicate yourself to doing it, and you're only going to start to see real tangible results around 2 to 3 months. So they do have a 3-pack. I just encourage you guys to get the 3-pack. I mean, you can do whatever you want, obviously, but you have to do this consistently every day for at least 2 into 3 months. And then that's when you're gonna start noticing that, oh my gosh, my hair's getting thicker, it's not falling out. It's just, yes. Like I said, I'll have a link and a code down below. Shay, save 20% on their whole site. But yeah, I love it. The next tip I am absolutely convinced works because I have been doing it for years, and it does involve scalp massaging. So this one you've probably seen before. It's super cheap. I can link them below. They're just from Amazon. This one is from Vegamore. It feels a lot different, but it's kind of a similar theory. This one's more silicone, whereas this is like a metal thing, but both work to really increase the blood vessel stimulation. So it increases circulation, it kind of brings the blood flow to the hair follicles, and it brings more oxygen and more nutrients to that, which in turn makes your hair grow faster and thicker. There's actually studies proving this. So I do have a couple suggestions with this. This one is great if you have someone else do it on you, okay? Now, a lot of people never say that, but I'm telling you, it makes a big difference. If you do this on yourself, it's not going to feel the same as if your husband or a friend or your mom or whatever does this for you for like a minute or so. Like, it completely feels different. The stimulation and the circulation, it's crazy different. Now, this one on the other hand, you can do completely by yourself, and I really recommend you doing it for at least 4 to 5 minutes. Just do it while you're watching TV, but oh my gosh, you feel it, and I'm telling you, it works. So that leads me to the next trick, and this actually is a trick. It's called the Inversion Method, and I have talked about it one other time on my channel at the very beginning. It was like one of the very first videos I ever filmed because I saw such a big difference when I did it. I've since seen a few other people mention it, but it works. But again, you have to be dedicated for 7 days. You do need a scalp massager of some sort, but basically what you do is you just lay backwards on your bed or a couch, and you literally flip your hair upside down, and you massage your head and your scalp for 5 minutes, maybe even longer, 5 to 7 minutes. You really get that blood flowing, and the gravity kind of works in your favor. The hair is kind of like laying down, pulling down as you're massaging your head, getting that circulation going, and it kind of jumpstarts that anagen growth phase that I keep talking about, so that in that 7-day span, your hair grows at a rapid pace. Again, I want to be very clear, very transparent with you. When I tried this, I definitely saw results. However, I'm not going to say it was like inches of hair or even an inch of hair. Some people have seen at least a full inch in that 7 days, which is crazy. I didn't experience that, but I definitely noticed my hair was longer than before. I've received some messages like years ago when I posted that video of people saying, oh my God, it worked for me. Then I also received some messages saying, oh my gosh, it didn't work for me, but it's something you can try. The next way to get longer hair or thicker hair, or both, is again something that nobody talks about, but they need to, and that is bone broth. Bone broth is so healthy for you in so many ways, but especially your hair and your skin and your nails. So many brands out there are so obsessed with, you know, the pills and the supplements. And don't get me wrong, like, I think supplements can be really good because I don't think we get enough vitamins and minerals from the foods that we eat. But bone broth is one of the best things that you could possibly eat or consume for your hair. And that is because of the collagen protein that is in it and the amino acids. It just all works together to really help those hair follicles to make them grow faster. It's literally food for your hair, and it's so absorbable into your body. So you can now buy bone broth at the grocery store, like in the freezer section, because it's getting so popular and people can see how good it is for your skin and your nails and your hair. You can also make it. It's actually pretty easy. You just get like chicken bones or beef bones and put them in the crock pot. You can Google a recipe, but you have to do it for at least 24 hours to really leach out all of those good ingredients that you can then eat. And it actually tastes really good too. The next tip I have for you guys is to stop washing your hair as often as you do. And I know so many people hate this idea because they just want to wash their hair every day. They feel like their hair is too oily to go too long in between washes, and I get that. So if you want to just skip this, that's fine. But I do think there is something to be said for kind of extending the time between the washes, and that is because of the natural hair oils that your body and your head produces. Like, it's there for a reason. It's there to hydrate your scalp and to hydrate the hair on your head. So if you're constantly stripping that away, your hair is just gonna be more dehydrated and frizzy, and it's gonna have more breakage. So let your hair oil do its job. I wasn't planning on saying this, but it's really, I'm sorry. This is Vegamore's dry shampoo. It's just become my favorite dry shampoo. It's cool not only because it does refresh brush your hair, but it does have those ingredients in it that work to stimulate the hair follicles, stop the shedding, increase hair growth. So it's kind of doing two jobs. It's making you not have to wash your hair as often, but then also it's getting all of those good ingredients into your scalp. Now, once it is time to take a shower and wash your hair, another trick to stimulate those hair follicles is to actually switch back and forth between warm and cold water on your scalp. Now, try not to use hot water because, as we all know, heat isn't great for our hair because it does take away that moisture and strip away those natural hair oils. But try alternating between warm and cold water just a few times at the end, and that will increase the blood circulation to those hair follicles. The next thing that you absolutely need is what's called a wet brush. And I have like 3 or 4 of these in my house. I am obsessed with it. I feel like everyone needs it. I'll link it down below. It's really cheap. But it's called a wet brush because you can actually brush your hair when it's really wet or when it's dry. I mean, really, you can just use it all the time. But it's just the best brush because of the bristles. I don't know what it is about these bristles, but they never rip your hair. They never break your hair. There are so many people out there that can never get the length that they want because they're constantly breaking their hair with their brush. This completely stops that. I also think people should be snipping their own split ends. So obviously most people do get split ends if they are trying to grow their hair long, and most of the time people recommend, or hairdressers recommend, to get a trim every 4 to 6 weeks. And I do think, I mean, that's an okay suggestion. It's just gonna totally slow down the whole process because you're constantly cutting your hair. Even if it's a small amount, you're still cutting your hair. So a trick that I like to do is actually with my fingers, and I do this about once a month, but you take your fingers and you just put your middle finger down and you take your hair in sections towards the bottom, and you literally just run your hands down your hair and you watch for any hairs or split ends to pop up. If you see a split end, you cut it ever so slightly with a pair of scissors and you get rid of it before it gets bad. And that's how you can actually stay on top of split ends and not actually have to remove tons of length that isn't even bad yet. I also recommend trying out a silk pillowcase. So obviously silk pillowcases are a little bit more luxurious. People use them actually to stop wrinkles from forming, but they actually are really great for your hair because it kind of locks in moisture. Typical cotton pillowcases absorb moisture, so it can kind of deplete your hair from moisture. And then also silk is just so smooth and nice that you actually wake up and your hair is not like a rat's nest. It's not tangly. It's much easier to brush your hair, which then decreases breakage. So those are my 9 tips and tricks into getting longer, thicker, healthier hair faster too. You just have to be dedicated and actually commit to doing these things. You will see results, I promise. Another huge thank you to Vegamore. I'll have them linked down below in the description box along with my code, which is Shay, and you'll save 20% on their whole website. So thank you again, and I'll see you very soon in my next one. Bye.